Hey everyone, welcome to ZSR. Today we have a very exciting match. We have the Wind Waker Randomizer Tournament Season 8 Qualifier number 7. Here tracking for us today, we have Blue Sean, GFH2, and Tweety. And on comms to tell us all about our race and our runners today, we have Lyric and Tuba Man. And they'll take it from here.
Alright, thank you. Yes, this is the 7th qualifier for Wind Waker Randomizer. We have CAG and Loger on restream today.
Yes, and both of these runners are kind of newer to the Wind Waker scene, but they have been showing some great stuff. I can't remember, were either of these runners in mini blends, or did they just kind of... I know some...
I believe both of these players were. I believe CAG was in group Cali Demos, and Loger was in group Goma, I want to say.
That sounds right. So yeah, a lot of great stuff coming from them. I know they've been really active in the last couple months. So I'm super excited to see what both of these runners have in store for us.
Yeah, and if you're just tuning in for the first time for Season 8, we do have a couple changes for Season 7. Quite a few, actually. The first thing you'll notice when we enter the sea is that we have 4 dungeons in these settings instead of the typical 3 that we've had for a couple seasons now.
Mm-hmm.
We also have hints on Coral, which has been a staple, but we also have hints on Old Man Ho-Ho that'll tell us where some of these shards are.
All right, so starting off with hints. Windfall looking loaded already. It's a classic.
Yeah, so it looks like we have Forsaken Fortress, Dragon Roost Cavern, Forbidden Woods, and Tower of the Gods. So no temples this seed.
Hey, we'll take that. Forest Haven Foolish is always interesting with entrance rando, because often that just probably means that the entrance is not one, but if it is, then hey, there you go, that's a dungeon for you.
Absolutely. We see Dragon Roost Cavern mini-boss being nothing. Both of the longer checks that we have, Blue Chews and Ganon Maze, both are nothing as well. So no real good information to see it aside from just where you don't have to go.
Yep. And looks like our entrances that we need today are Earth Temple, Tower of the Gods, and DRC. So no Forest Haven, as was kind of guessed, and no Wind Temple.
Yeah, so we will not need Iron Boots this seed, except maybe for Ice Ring Interior. But we don't need it to enter a dungeon, and we also don't need the Forbidden Woods entrance, which means Leaf might not be required.
Very true.
Although we do have Forbidden Woods, so maybe not.
Yeah, most likely required. Also, speaking of entrances, looks like our runners opened up Kamali's Letter, which means that our starting item today was Feyror's Pearl.
That's a very convenient one, because that means that Tower of the Gods entrance is essentially Sphere 0. You can just get that in. And the good thing about going to entrances early is that there's always at least one check you can do in any of the dungeons that'll be available to you with no items. So
yes, no matter what.
Yeah. Look at both of our runners heading to different places. We have Loger on Cliff Plat right now. I can't really tell. Looks like CAG is going Angular.
Yep, Angular was hinted path, so I think that this is a pretty worth it thing to check out early. Odds are your path item will be whichever one is earlier in logic. Not always the case, but typically the case. And we've got a spiky up here, so we're about to see.
Yeah, and Loger's side doing Cliff Plat first thing is pretty typical of these settings. We can full clear it. Ooh, scaring me there with that jump slash, but makes it.
Yeah, I'm so glad it did, because as he saw with the telescope, this is spiky and it's a wallet.
Yep. Another thing we added on are a couple of these lookout platforms. So here on Cliff Plat, we will be going to this one over here. We also have one on Bomb Island, one on Paw Print, and one on Islet, I believe. The couple we added, just to add a little bit more variety, and importantly, to make sure that none of these islands have one check only.
Oh, a sword.
Now that's interesting, because if that is path, then that could mean that Phantom Ganon is path, or if bombs are really late, it could mean that Forsaken Fortress is path.
Yes. And we've got a shard up there. I don't remember exactly which dungeon Angular was path for, but
I'm not entirely sure either. I'm sure someone will. No.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it screams a lot of very cool things to me. This might be one of my favorite paths that we've seen in a qualifier, assuming that that's the path.
That's true. Angular Cave could also just be the path, and we're just speculating for nothing. But it's fun to speculate, so.
Exactly. But all right, Cag peeking, seeing it's spiky, going to be getting a shard here in a second, and it looks like Loger's going to be going into Northern Ferry.
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of people starting to do Northern Ferry before Windfall here. And it's a pretty good idea, because you have more chances to get your Picto, you have more chances to get some items that you might need for like delivery bag or something for Windfall, and you're gonna have to do the sale anyway, so if it's nothing, you can just soft reset and you're back on Windfall again. So it makes a lot of sense to do this first instead of Windfall.
I agree. Also get baited, Loger. And it looked like our ho-ho hint was Shard 8 on Dragon Roost Island. So either outside or inside the dungeon entrance.
Yep, looks like it. We're going to get our first Great Fairy check here.
Cag not having a lot of luck with this peak. The grass can always get in the way a little bit there.
Yeah, it's a little hard to do coming from the platform. But nothing on Northern Ferry. We do have a submarine here as well, so Loder will try and do that.
Yep. In terms of doing... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say, our Angular Isles hint, thank you to Baseball for putting those in. It was towards Helmrock King. So
okay.
Again, it's leading me to believe that bombs are really late.
Yep. Honestly, to me, that screams either we have a vanilla hammer, or bombs will be locked in or behind Helmrock in some fashion, or just in Forsaken Fortress.
Right, because that is a possibility. We do have a couple obscure tricks allowed. Mainly, the portal in Ganon's Tower can be activated and get you into Forsaken Fortress early. Well, not early, I guess. It's pretty late in the sea, but
as early as it gets.
Yeah.
So
yeah, bait bag on Northern Ferry.
Yep, to accommodate the bait that he got.
Yep.
Means we won't have to buy any. Assuming he remembers. Sometimes that is not the first thing that comes to my mind whenever I race.
Yeah, you never really think about bait. You always just like, oh, if I'm going to do big pig, I'll get bait while I'm there. So.
Mm-hmm. And Cag is actually opting to go to Bomb Island without a way to get into the actual island here. I actually like this play because working with the information, if your bombs are super late, sure, you don't know where power bracelets are, but that's one half of the way to get in. So if Bomb Island is late logically, maybe you don't have to worry about going into the island in the first place, and this allows you to get 2 Spear Zeros.
Yeah, and there's also a lot of ways to get back to Bomb Island pretty seamlessly. Like, we have Cabana, I believe, is still in Logic. Forbidden Woods, well, not in Logic, is still a pretty good warp point, and we also have Taught G in Logic, so you can go from there to Bomb Island as well.
For sure. And a bow.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty nice find. Yeah, absolutely.
And you get another ho-ho hint here on Bomb Island pretty early. I always try and prioritize getting ho-ho hints as early as you can, Because the later you get them, the higher likelihood that you're just going to find the shards that they're hinting towards, and it's going to be some time.
Yep, 100%. Logar getting hook shot off of Tot here, so that fulfills one of our 2 path hints.
Oh yeah, what kind of path hints do we have here on Windfall? Windfall to Kali Demos, and Windfall to Godon.
Well, actually, then I guess it may not completely fulfill it, but maybe
Well,
it
we also
will.
have a Diamond Step to Goma hint, so
See, that's...
that hook
Yeah.
shot probably is referring to path towards Kali Demos, and then something in Diamond Step Island is probably either Leaf or Grapple that leads to both Dragon Roost and Forbidden Woods.
Yep.
And another Shard 6 on Dragon Roost Island.
Yep, DRI just hoarding all the shards, making me think that it's probably a dungeon you can do fairly early on. I could see a vanilla Dragon Roost in our future.
Yeah, I agree.
Which, with the bow that Kag has, would not be the worst thing to find.
Definitely not. We're checking Mila over here for Logar. And, as always, never anything.
Yep. I had my adrenaline rushing in Qual 1 when I decided to skip Mila, because I had a lot of other info to follow. And I was rewarded for it, but God, the anxiety.
Yeah, and our first dungeon dip here is Forbidden Woods inside the Tower of the Gods entrance.
Yep.
Not much you can do here. There is a small key on that chest, and there's one more chest you can get down below. But that is it here. We'll see if this pays off. But just knowing that you have this dungeon here is pretty useful information to know.
Absolutely. And typically at Forbidden Woods is the dungeon that I hate to dip the most. Because even though you have a second chest that you can get, typically you end up dipping it without Leaf, which means you don't have access to the warp pot. However, since it's just here at Tot G, that makes the dip way more manageable, way easier to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. And even if it was at Dragon Roost Island, we added that warp after you enter to make it easier to get back, which I think is just such a nice quality of life addition. Shout out
Most
Scanjo.
definitely agree. It really only makes Earth Temple and Wind Temple kind of the outliers, because then you might have to sail back.
Yeah, definitely. Both of our runners on Windfall. Looks like Kag definitely got here a little bit later, so it's just going to do some of the checks that Logar's already done. But Kag also has a lot more overworld done, so we'll see how it plays out.
Yep. Logar will have Angular, we'll have Bomb Island, and we'll have the little bit of Forbidden Woods to catch up on.
Yep, and a spiky in this maze. I don't think we've gotten anything else aside from Hookshot yet, so this could be our second path.
Absolutely. And there's also the chance that, maybe it's the Hookshot path to go get Picto in Diamond Step.
Oh, that would be brutal.
To get your second path hint, or your second path item on Pompey Vera or something. It'd be silly. But
it would be silly.
Absolutely possible. Oh, Moblins. Okay. Or delivery bag. We'll throw that in there too.
No exact path hints on Windfall yet.
Thank you very much, Baseball, for updating the hint dashboard.
Yeah,
Makes our jobs a lot easier.
Very much so. So we're heading. Logar is not opting to do Kids in Lens of Door Cancel. Instead, we're heading over to Crescent, which I quite like. I'm not a fan of doing hide and seek early without Pictobox. I know some people are, and some people will just do it on their first trip. But I like waiting for Pictobox to do that, so you just have to single dip Pompey and Vera.
Yep. I will definitely say, as one of those people that goes and does it first, it always helps me feel more secure, but oh man, then there's that darn Pompey Vera.
Yeah, You get Triforce Shard 4 on Windfall Island. From Crescent. And so really, at this point, we're looking for something to probably enter Dragon Roost Island dungeon, because that's where a lot of our shards are, and that's where we can likely get a lot of progression there.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, with the information available to us, I would be a little tempted to dip FF early here. See if you can get bombs in the first, 5 chests. If you're CAG, that is, because he's got the sword.
That's true, but it looks like Logre is headed straight for Diamond Step, going to cash in on that Dragon Roost patent that we have.
Absolutely. Follow your information.
Yeah, absolutely makes sense. The only reason you keep it off is for like bombs, but if you're assuming like we are that bombs are pretty late in this seed, then there's really no reason to wait.
Yeah, absolutely. I will always be an advocate of information first above optimal item routing.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Because in this season, with how much you could potentially skip just based on the items you get, or, if your path hint is what leads you to said item that you want, like, for example, the hook shot that was inside of Cabana on one of the quals, that it really gives you a lot of... There's just a lot that you can work out of, and you probably want to use your information the best you can and just do the best execution with what you have.
Right.
Which is very different thinking from what previous seasons have been.
Yeah, the full clear meta, definitely not the play these settings, but it's a very nice change of pace from what we've been doing for the past couple of years. So
for sure.
All right, we'll see what we get here. Is it just going to be nice to us and give us grapple or leaf or something to enter Dragon Roost with, or is it going to be mean and give us like delivery bag or something?
Well, it looks like Logre doesn't like the other chest that's over there, so...
Yeah, trying to jump slash onto this banister, gets it, and picked a box.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it.
Commentator's curse speaking it into existence, huh? So we'll see if our runners get punished for not wanting to do hide and seek early, because if you can get it in Lenzo's attic and Pumping Bear is nothing, then I mean that's a lot of time saved getting that item so early. So we'll see. It looks like Kag is also leaving without doing hide and seek.
Yeah, I will definitely say it's scary though, because not only do you know that there's a path item that could be on Pompey-Vera, but also we now know that there's a shard on Windfall somewhere. So even if your path item is one of the top attic checks, there's always that sneaking suspicion that your shard could just be there.
That's true.
So, man, I might be talking myself out of doing Lenzo door cancel.
Yeah, I will. I think I'm a firm believer in waiting for Picto to do Lenzo door cancel, but we'll see how Logre fares.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely dodging the kids, making sure that he does not waste the text box on them.
Yeah, especially because I think if I recall correctly, if you talk to one of the kids, you have to reload the world, right? Because they'll just stand there.
Yep.
Yeah, and if you activate this cutscene that Logre's in right now with one of the kids not in their regular state, then it'll just soft lock you and you'll stay in this like looking around animation that he's in, and you will not be able to do anything. You'd have to soft reset. I know from experience, I've done it way too many times.
Yep. Right. So we don't have too much interesting going on right now. We've got Kag on Northern Ferry about to get his bait bag. And then we've got the wonderful catching the kids. And boy, how fun it is.
Hey, it's more fun that we have door cancel activated so we can just walk up walls.
It is true. How about this? It's fun for the runner, but me as the commentator sitting here, having done this 10,000 times already, is like,
That's true. Hey, fair enough.
okay. In fact, actually, while I was doing preliminary setting stuff, while I was kind of messing around with what could be cool, what might not be, I actually tried completely turning off hide and seek, seeing how that would fare, but keeping all the other short side quests. And I think it was interesting, but I don't think that it is so groundbreakingly different that there's a reason to do one over the other.
Right. And Double Dead. Ooh.
That's,
man.
yep. Suddenly I am very glad that I am here in the commentator booth. Because, oh boy, getting that Picto after seeing both of those chests dead, I would have been devastated.
Yeah, so early Lenza door cancel enjoyers not eating good with this seed.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Pompey and Vera has. If Pompey and Vera is also dead, though, that'd be really funny.
This is true. It could be. Oh, but man, if Pompey Vera is also dead, this would have been a forfeit for me. Because I would have rushed Pompey Vera right afterwards. Wow. Okay. Okay, game.
Wow, that's
it's
so
a sign. All right.
Baseball,
you are my hero. Thank you for pinging commentators so that I didn't have to play the seed.
Baseball not beating the terrible Wind Waker seed allegations, having done the past 2 seeds that we've seen. But yeah, now the question for Loger becomes, where is this second Picto? Because you know that has something good. And Leaf! Just sitting on Ivan right there. That's very nice. Meanwhile, Kag doing an early islet. Has the bow, can do both of these checks here. No bombs though, so this is not in logic.
Aha, there is a shard. Let me double check my notes here.
That was shard 4, I believe.
Yep, right middle, that is shard 4, so...
Yes.
I may or may not in my notes have shard 4 and then in parentheses right middle. Shard 5, parentheses long boy. So that I can tell which one is which when I get it.
6 is the bottom piece, and then 7 and 8 are the corners.
That's exactly right. Yep. Just helps in my brain.
Yeah, it took me until this season to learn what these were.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It doesn't really matter until you get hints for specific ones. And if you get a hint for one and then you get a different shard, you're like, oh, well, there's still one here.
I also actually really like both of the runners leaving the small key chest here. Because we do have a presumably late Tatji in play. And it would be really cool.
Thinking a smuggle?
Yep. It would be really cool if, if we have a Go mode Tatji that you just, instead of searching for a key, you just take a quick detour here, store the key, leave right out the front entrance.
That would be really cool to see. We'll see if any of our runners do it, and if it even makes sense to do Tatji.
I was about to say, yeah, like if it comes up.
But yeah, we have another Divergence Cag going to try and do these big bag checks. It looks like that he wasn't happy with what Needle Rock had, so he's headed down to Diamond Step, gonna get the Picto box here. Meanwhile, Loger's doing our first dip on Cabana.
And I actually really don't mind Cag's route here. Because being able to confirm Needle Rock's first check is dead is always nice. It always does suck to have to double dip an island. But if you're going to do Needle Rock and Diamond Step, not Needle Rock, Islet of Steel and Diamond Step, and you have the potential that it's just dead so you can peek it from afar, I think that it's not such a bad route.
I agree. We got a Triforce Shard. Was that 5?
No, that was 6.
That was 6, okay. Now, Loger does have chest storage here, and hookshot. Are we gonna see Bomb Island early here?
I think we're seeing Bomb Island early.
Now, this is a recent development, a couple weeks ago, in fact. We were thinking about how to do this for a while, but no one could figure it out. And then it turns out a hookshot L slide is with chest storage is barely enough to clip the hole here and make it into the load zone.
Yeah, I actually had the pleasure of doing this a couple qualifiers ago, and it got me a shard, so I was not too upset about that. Wait, was that? Is that not? Would that not be our third 6 hint? Did I miss C?
I'm thinking I couldn't tell, but I think Cabana hint was the fifth.
It might have been 5. It might have been 5. Yeah.
Also, that was just really clean from Loger.
I agree. Yeah, well done.
That's very fast first try. We'll see if it pays off. But it's also the peace of mind knowing that you just don't have to come back to this side of the map. You're doing fine.
Absolutely. But here's what I will say. If this is a dead chest and CAG never comes back, that's a time save.
That is a time save. This is true. And yeah, our suspect is that 5, 6, and 8 are all on DRI, but we're not.
Yep.
That's not confirmed yet.
Yeah. I would maybe go back and look at the Cabana Ho-Ho if you want full confirmation, but for our purposes, that's what we are thinking. But yeah, so if CAG never goes back to Bomb Island, then he might be all better for it, because he never had to enter the island.
That's true, and with how late bombs are, well, hypothetically, we're hoping that CAG might not even have to bother. That bombs might just be go mode, so...
Yep. And let's be clear, they are required with a Godin, so we will not be finishing without bombs of some form.
Right, but something else that's been coming up a lot recently is those bombs in Earth Temple, or the Earth Temple trial.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
With that Master Sword potentially being path, it's just on the way.
Yep, that's exactly it. Now, I can't wait for us to just find bombs in the next, 5 minutes.
It'd be really funny if it was like a severe zero check, and then we just completely disregard everything we've been saying for the past 30. But...
Yep. I mean, it'd still be cool, because then either it means that Hammer locks both other swords. Or, sorry, not Hammer. Phantom Ganon would have to block both other swords.
Right.
And then, or it could be just, there's a second thing, but after messing up the first thing, I lost my train of thought on the second thing.
Fair enough. We'll get back to you on that. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Brain hurty.
Loger just got the bow on Bomb Island, and is now, I presume, heading to Angular to cash in that check. And we'll also probably check to see if the cave chest is anything.
Yep. This is the one nice thing about not doing it immediately is you will be able to, one, peek the second chest, but also since you have the hook shot, you can just skip the climb and shoot your way straight up. So
exactly, yeah, saves a little bit of time over here in terms of difference between CAG and Loger, but CAG getting a nice door cancel into Lenzo will be a little disappointed that there's nothing here.
Yeah. If anything, I will imagine he will be shocked.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're really just looking for this next Picto for now.
Viewers on Restream couldn't see it, but it was kind of fun to watch CAG do the head movements with Grandma as he was crawling through.
Yeah, the head bobs. Alright, Loger, what you got for us? I could
not
tell.
That's a great question.
I could not tell. I'm gonna be real with you.
The man locked in and he knew.
Yeah,
but
he
now
did not
we
check
don't.
it off, though. He did not check it off. Important.
Yeah, that's true. Yep, on his personal tracker. So it's a big deal.
Yeah, baseball saying that the Cabana hint was also for 6. Okay, wait, I'm holding. Are you spreading misinformation with baseball?
Get your holders in chat.
Pause champs?
That's not even a thing. Someone make it a thing.
Also, wait, I'm just noticing that Logar has delivery bag. Was that from Cabana Upper? That's the only check I think that CAG hasn't done yet.
Yeah, that would probably make the most sense. And that's actually a big deal here, because that'll allow him to do 2 more things on Windfall.
Yeah, and they get that Moblins later on Windfall, so that could have been our path.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know that there's something path on Minenko, but we have no information on that second pick, though. Maybe, you know what, commentator curse, I won't be sorry for this one. Maybe it's on Zunari.
Oh no, I hate
And you just have to... And you...
last location Zunari.
Yep.
I always do it. Every single time. But Logar is getting the Town Flower. He's a real go-getter after all. He'll turn in this Moblins letter.
And we've got CAG making his way to Cyclos, but it looks like he's going to stop to see our Salvage Core.
Oh yeah,
first.
We haven't seen Salvage Core yet from either runner. So
yeah, we haven't seen Paw Print from either runner.
Yeah, looks like it. And it's nothing but Cyclos still here. Moblins letter. Oh, bombs!
All right. Yep. Throw our previous stuff out the window. So there it goes.
Now it's looking like that Angular Cave is probably the path, or that it's Vanilla Squad.
Yep. It's the one of two. I'm feeling probably at this point it is more likely that it's just Angular Cave is what we're looking for, but you never know.
You never know, indeed. There is, bombs really convenient because we are at Windfall. We could just go. We're gonna go straight to Paw Print, but we are gonna stop by Northern Triangle, just like CAG is, to get these 2 checks.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see what Cyclos has for us. Also, shoutouts to Surfing Grandma. And Note to Mom.
Note to Mom. Heck yeah. So, importantly, those bombs are a way to also get into the DRI entrance.
That is true.
I think it's our first one. So, that opens up some potential as well.
That is true.
But
So
now with this, no worries. Sorry. Now with our whole bomb theory gone, we don't really have information on what will be in the dungeon entrance.
No,
because in all honesty, it could be either at this point. Because with bow and bombs, it's open. If it's Tot G, we can do most of it.
That's
Only thing stopping us is magic or grapple to get the second statue.
Yeah, well, interestingly, if it is DRC entrance is in DRC, then that could mean that... Because we have a Windfall Island to Cali hint and a Windfall Island to Godon hint, so...
This is true.
It could be like magic in Dragon or something, or something like that. It could just continue on. And
well, I mean, technically, I guess those are actually filled, because we found Leaf for Calidamos on Miss Marie, and we found bombs for Godin. Oh no, wait. It is Godin. So, so those are both just fulfilled at this point at base value. It could be pointing toward other things, but it's not the most likely.
Yeah, and we're still waiting to cash in that Diamond Step to Goma hint, which was the Picta box. So we're waiting for the second one for that.
Yep. And at this point, now we're to the point where that could just be grapple, and that second Picto could be anywhere.
Or it could be really mean and be anywhere, and you just get a shield for it, and you need angular.
Oh, I'd love that. Mostly because I'm not playing it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not playing, so I can say the craziest thing I want, and it'll. If it happens, then I'm happy.
I mean, either way, the dungeon at DRI, you know you're going to want to clear through it since there are 2 shards. So there's not a huge reason to put it off for too long, especially since with the light column and with the dungeons we have, warp pots will be nice anyways.
Agreed.
So really, there's good reason to go in early, but also fair reason to not.
Yeah, I'm also a little interested in that Lower didn't go to paw print after Southern or Northern Triangle, excuse me. Which is a little interesting. I think just waiting for a grapple to do scale the wall, but you can peek it from below. So
yeah, it's interesting that we have not seen it from either runner, because paw print is one of those places that I usually go to early, almost every seed.
Yeah, even if you don't have explosive or something like that to do it, it's still, I think it's very reasonable to go first or early.
Yeah, because yes, you might have to go back, but you are usually going to have to go back to Windfall a pretty good amount of the seed. And if that is the case, then Windfall to paw print is one of the shortest sails in the game.
Yes, I agree.
But, I mean, and we are going to finally see it on Kag's side. But that being said, I also will admit that I know my privilege being a Dolphin player, and that peeking the right side boulder out of bounds is a lot easier.
Yeah, even on native resolution on Dolphin, it's still, I don't even go for it anymore. It's so hard.
Yeah.
I've lost too many runs to just not, or miss peeking that check. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Ooh, cheese. Okay.
Shard 5 on paw print. So that, yeah, that entire fiasco that we sent baseball on is moot at this point.
All for naught.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that means that, was there a shard on DRI already? I can't remember.
Don't know, actually. I don't think there was.
I don't think so either. So that just means that the last 2 shards are probably just in the dungeon, because I know one of our runners has been there.
Yeah. Now looks like Loger's going. You know, probably wanted to do Great Fish and turn in Zunari before doing paw print, which also makes sense.
Yeah, that is very fair. And I did not see what Zunari was. I was watching Kag.
Zunari was a silver rupee.
Well, you can only get one commentator's curse, I guess.
Yeah. But we did get one of our shields on paw print.
Yes.
Which is very nice. We will need that. Well, assuming that Loger peeked it correctly, which I trust Loger, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point, personally.
Yeah.
Looks like Kag's going to be getting his delivery bag here in a second.
So it looks like both of our runners are only missing 2 shards. Are those the 2 that we know are on Dragon Roost? Are those?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So, okay. Yeah, both of them will most likely be in that dungeon, since I think one of our runners has cleared the outside.
Yeah, Kag did go and shoot down top of boulder with the bow, and got storage with and didn't get anything, which is why they were at Crescent with storage, which is not something you see every day. But.
Yeah. If only it, did something a little more.
Yeah. We've got some mail here for Loger. I don't know which mail. Oh, this is probably bomb mail. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Kag's got that delivery bag.
Yeah.
You got Kag with the bag.
I think at this point we are just waiting for one of our runners to enter the dungeon now. Even it's really hard to like want to go in with nothing. Like you can't beat Dragon Roost, you don't have magic, you can't do Forbidden Woods, you can't do Tower of the Gods all the way because you don't have magic or grapple. So it's you're never gonna finish the dungeon unless you find something in there. But it is where our path is currently.
Mm-hmm. Well, taking a look at Logger's personal tracker, once Logger's done here at Poprand, all he's got left available in the overworld is DRI. So I would assume he's probably going to finish up here and then go to DRI, clear that out, and then probably enter the dungeon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So first off, this race is going pretty well. And second off, bombs, you will be seeing here in a couple seconds on Kag's side, is on Moblin's letter.
Yep, so Kag just got the delivery bag that was on Cabana Waterfall and is now turning in this. Let's check. And Loger is now done with paw print. And you're right, it only has Dragon Roost left, so we'll head there. And so yeah, we'll see what dungeon this one is. I think we're looking for a Dragon Roost. Maybe.
Yeah. I think that Dragon
most
Roost
of
would
it,
be the
right?
nicest. Yeah. Like, you can also do most of Tot G, it just will not be fun.
That's true. It won't be fun, it won't be fast, so...
Yep. Because the only things that you will not be able to do are the Dark Nut mini-boss and the two... the 3 checks on the top floor.
Well, you can get Dark Knight Mini Boss if you get storage and clip yourself into the pillar next to it, but
that is true.
It's very niche, and I barely ever see it come up. So I would I would not blame the runners if they don't know it or don't want to do it. It's very understandable.
Yeah, as someone who has been running for many a seasons, that is something that I would not even consider for a race.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can even think of a time that it would have been the play. Surely there was one.
It probably has. I mean, it probably has with this game.
Oh, interesting. So it looks like both of our runners will be entering at about near the same time now.
Ooh, that's fun.
The main difference of checks here is, I believe Kag has not done Zunari, which won't matter for now, but could matter later in terms of time. And then Logger has the information of there being an item in Angular.
Yes, that is correct.
So at this point, I would give, for those of you that like to ask who's winning, Godin is ahead. I would say Logger has a slight advantage that could definitely be lost in a small amount of time.
A minute max, probably.
Yeah. And also, we've got a boat jump scare.
Oh yeah, Tot G entrance and the top of Dragon Roost. That is not ideal, but still can do a lot here, and will likely get an item anyway. So we're hoping for grapple or leaf, or magic, excuse me.
If you want to know who's losing, the answer would have been me, except I decided to commentate.
Looks like a shard. One of our shards, that's shard 6.
Yep. You know what? There is one more check that neither of these runners have done. And that is Phantom Ganon.
Oh, Phantom Ganon is open. That is true. And for all we know, it could be Path.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to be real. I think if I was running the seed,
No,
I probably would have done it
too.
beforehand.
I probably would have too.
Yeah, just even if I had the knowledge that Angular was spiky, you never know.
Exactly
Now,
right.
if it's nothing, then I just,
Then
I was probably going
like
to do
an
Phantom
idiot.
Ganon anyway. But you were probably going to do Phantom Ganon anyway, so you just leave the chest there, and whenever you come
That's
back
true.
with Hammer, you just store it again. In fact, if anything, the only time that it's a lose situation is if it's something, but not something super important.
Yeah, like a boomerang or something, right? That you don't
Yeah.
need.
Or like a Cabana Deed.
Or Cabana Deed.
Which, don't get me wrong, will actually be a little nice to have this seed since both of our runners have opened the top. But also, sometimes you just hope you never have to go back to Cabana a second time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we're having a little bit of trouble with this almost clip here. I typically like to...
Oh! Yeah.
Well, yeah. I typically like to use the bomb push. But without Leaf, I don't think it's a lot harder.
Yeah.
So
I have always been a statue user. But if the water... Oh
no! So unfortunate, just barely. It's hard to tell where the out of bounds is there, so...
Yep.
It's understandable. Meanwhile, getting storage here.
Yeah, Kag's probably looking to...
Side.
Yep, but the water is up. So he's got to be a little careful here.
Wouldn't be that much of an issue.
Because...
He's scaring me by not doing the target.
Yeah, me too. But this was what I was scared of. Since the water was up, it was very likely that whenever he got over there, the water would go down. So he won't drown, but it'll feel very close.
Yeah. Even if I'm like halfway, I like to just drop off the back and just jump slash back in to refill my breath.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know the timing. You're really not gonna. It's not gonna drown you. So.
Yeah, the big thing is since the drown timer is 30 seconds and the water cycles are on 15, you will never drown. It'll just feel really close.
Yeah, that's always good to know. And so Kag getting storage here makes me think that we are going to do that pillar clip into Dark Nut mini boss.
That would be interesting.
It's the only thing I can think of that you would need it for.
I mean, the other thing might be, a lot of people tout that taking the left side wall is the fastest route. So even if you don't plan on using the storage for that specifically, it might just be true. In his mind, this is the fastest route. And it actually might be. I have not timed it.
It looks like, yeah, he is just going to go to right side with this.
Yep. I'm an old dog. I've started doing that route if I have Leaf, but it took me a while to get away from just always doing the statue clip.
Yeah, definitely same here. But I think it is faster in the long run, so it's definitely worth it to learn and do.
Yeah, I think I might not have done it in this scenario just because typically if I'm going to use the storage, I'm going to want to use it to get into Dark Nut Mini Boss. But I have not timed anything, so I might be wrong and it could actually end up losing time if you chose to do it that way. So
also, so far, a Baron Taji. We only have a couple checks left up here at the second floor. So we'll see.
All we found is that shard. But that could be it. It could be you find the second shard.
Yeah, if we get the second shard here, then Master Sword Chamber will be more likely.
And who's to say it's Oh, okay. This could be the shard, or it could be
I'm hoping for a shard at this point. I want to see them suffer. Does that mean?
No.
It might be a little
This is your commentator curse. I've already used mine up.
That's true. That's true.
Oh my goodness. Both
Also,
of
wait,
these
the
runners.
statues stay there? I didn't know the statues stay there. Sorry.
I actually had no clue either. When I saw him drop it, I thought, oh, he's going to have to go pick it up again.
Yeah,
but no, I was
I
wrong.
thought he would have to go back to the door, but apparently it just stays there when you...
Oh.
I was just taking it into the next rooms, because I thought it would be so, but guess not.
Well, you know the saying about assumptions. They're usually not right. Get your friends out of the gutter.
It's always something with this BMOS. Cag was
I
having
know.
trouble too. I always struggle with this one. But
if I were to ever give advice to a new runner who is struggling with that room, hey, there's the mirror shield. It would be don't use arrows on that Armos. If he knocks you down, pull a bomb and stand right next to him and let him shoot you.
Just bomb it. It's so much easier.
Yep, it kills the Armos, saves you arrows, and you have to wait for him to shoot anyways, so you may as well get the frame perfect kill with the bomb.
Yeah. Also, that mirror shield in Tachi makes me think that the game wants us to get what's probably Skullhammer on Angular. Oh well, never mind. Hey, let me maybe eat my words here.
Hey, the other Picto and Loger actually
did the pillar clip.
I'm an old dog. I've never done that before. These new runners and their fancy tricks.
You can still learn new tricks. Old dogs can learn new tricks.
Oh, not this one. My joints hurt.
Hey, Mr. like 4th seed or whatever.
It's only 6th seed. But actually, the truth is, I would probably be lower, but the good thing about being an old dog with these joints is the muscle memory is still there.
That's true. And another spiky on Tachi. Cag and the Panadeed.
Cag deed. Let's go.
Potentially useless. Also, we're storing this chest too.
Yeah. And now the storage is gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, probably didn't think that there was a loading zone there. He wanted to get back. But yeah, there is, unfortunately, if you do that chest storage, there is no way back. So you do have to save quit.
Yep. Which I think he is learning for the first time.
Is he? No way he's trying to bomb boost.
I
don't
doubt.
think it can reach.
Yeah, there's no way this works, unfortunately. I don't think it ever reaches.
Yeah.
I applaud the tenacity, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, I think
he's
just going to save warp here.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that was in the back of my mind was the longer he takes on this, the more time he bleeds. Just take your file name and take your file name and just get out of there.
Oh, Loger thinking about leaving, but hasn't
don't do it.
Anything in here yet to warrant leaving.
Yeah, so I think at this point he knows.
Yeah, and I don't like Coral being that close to the pillar. Because you can talk to him.
He likes to talk. Yep.
He likes to talk. See,
there he is.
Just like that, yeah.
Hey, you want to know about your information again?
Hey, here are your hints in case you haven't read them 50 minutes in.
Yeah, I just like to talk a lot.
Hey.
Hey.
That's good. Oh, man.
But although I guess the positive of this is you get to watch Coral stare at you like, what the hell are you doing?
It's like,
this is not what you're supposed to do. Yeah, this is not how the game was meant to be played. I'm telling Miyamoto right now.
Logan.
Whoa, my God!
Wow, gets it though.
That was
nice
sick.
That was cool. That was awesome. That is the last statue for Cag as well, I believe. Not gonna get Stone Tablet. I believe you can just go
No,
beat Go.
No, Cag can't get the second statue.
Oh, second statue, right.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he did get Stone Tablet.
Okay, that makes more sense. I forgot about second statue needing grapple and leaf.
Yep. But he knows that the second key is on the top, so he's going to go do hop across real quick.
Yeah, so what if you just do boomer strats backwards to get the second statue?
I mean,
I have done that once before, and it was not worth it.
I was about to say, yeah. Ooh, the Wizrobe snipe on Logar there.
I still have no idea what causes this to spawn. I thought it was doing Stone Tablet, but he just keeps spawning anyway.
Yeah, I thought that maybe... You know what? No, I'm not even going to try. I have no clue either.
It might be doing mini-boss.
That was my thought. But I don't necessarily remember him spawning after all of the times that I've done mini-boss.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't remember that either. So I have no idea.
Yeah, mini-boss was my assumption, but...
That would make sense. Because that way you get bow. Because you're going to have to come back here with a bow to logically do that other check, right? So
that's exactly
it makes sense
it.
that
Yeah.
when you spawn, when you come back. Alright, so Cag is done here. Tower of the Gods needs to leave. Did get a lot of stuff here. We fill out our Triforce, got the other Picto, and we got Mirror Shield. Pretty much all of which we know we're gonna need.
Yeah, for sure. Who is ahead? Godin.
Godin is ahead.
I would say... So Logar has a little bit more in the overworld done, but he has had a little bit rougher of a Tot G. He entered Tot G before Cag, but Cag is leaving first. But, so, although I would say that might put Cag ahead by a little bit, the truth is, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Which is what I said whenever I talked about Logar being ahead.
Yeah. So Cag is going to cash in this Picto hint pretty much instantly. Makes sense. You're guaranteed an item here.
Threatening the mailbox from long range first.
You will give me an item.
Where's my money?
Alright, let's see what Minenko's been hiding from us.
Aha! The pubs.
Wait. So Power Bracelet was path to Goma.
That makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's in Earth Temple.
Is it in Earth? Oh, I didn't. Oh yeah, because Wind Temple was the dungeon that we didn't have.
Yep.
The dungeon entrance we didn't. I got you.
Yep. So that fulfills that. However,
I was thinking it could be funny and be Big Pig.
Oh, so, don't get me wrong. Still could be, but
but it's also on the way to Earth Temple, so it's like it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, we still have a couple other things to consider here. We're gonna get our sword hints here, so.
Yeah, so we know one's on Angular.
Yep.
We can also get one in Forsaken Fortress and in Tachi Sector, so Forbidden Woods.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually pretty good info. In fact, Cag should be able to use this to know that his sword is not Path. Because if there's one in the FF sector, well, actually, no. I guess it could be if
it could be lost behind the other sword. Yeah.
Yeah, like if and only if. Well, no, it couldn't be. Well, I guess the only way it could be is if like Phantom Ganon is our grapple, and then that locked the hammer and the magic. But
yeah,
that feels very unlikely
also,
compared to the spiky chest that we've seen.
Yeah, also, Tower of the Gods sector could just be referring to Master Sword Chamber also, which is
that is true. Yeah, it could just be right here.
And then that completely nullifies our path hint sword anyway, so we'll see what this gives us.
Do I think that switch to NSO Wind Waker would be viable for speedrunning? Your guess is as good as mine.
There have been a lot of developments in that NSO, or the Wind Waker NSO. I don't know if it ends up being faster than GameCube version, but it's definitely, there's a lot more interesting stuff. Also, yes, there is our sword on Tower of the Gods sector.
Yep. So that should immediately clue in, hey, the sword was not the path hint.
Yeah, you gotta go back there. Yeah. Loger finishing up on checks in Tower of the Gods is probably gonna get this statue, or just save war.
Can get it later.
Yeah, can get it later. No big deal. Especially it's faster if you have Leaf, right? So no.
Yeah, it won't be a big deal. Most likely he's gonna have to climb anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So did get another sword here for Cag. Hopefully goes to Angular. Yeah, it looks like.
Yeah, looking like it.
I believe that's the only thing over there that he has left. Well, actually, Bomb Island is still a magic technically, so.
Yeah, he could do Bomb Island. But nah.
Yeah, that's good.
Straight down we go.
All right.
So talking about,
hour.
Yep, and anytime I hit an hour, I like to kind of think about what do we have left. And right now, we're missing the sword that we know is in Forsaken Fortress. We're missing 2 bows. We are missing grapple. We are missing hammer.
And magic.
And magic, yes. I was just thinking about that.
Although the fact that we don't have magic yet is kind of crazy, considering there's 2 magics, and you're guaranteed to find both of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, it looks like both of our runners are racing to go to Angular. Loger, of course, has higher priority here because he knows it's spiky.
Yep.
But Cag also deducing that there has to be something here as well.
Yep. But then also Cag has done the other 2 big early progression things.
True.
I will say it is interesting. I don't think Cag did Zunari while he was over there.
Yeah, Cag has not done Zunari yet, which is... I mean, I get it. I hate doing Zunari. But it's always in the back of your mind. It's like Mila, right? If you don't do Mila early, it's always in the back of your mind. Like, what if there's just your bow, right? Or something.
Exactly.
So, yeah, skipping out on early checks is risky, but...
Mm-hmm. All right. I am personally thinking this is just going to be hammer.
Yeah, I think it has to be at this point.
Yep, there we go. All right, go to FF Cag.
Yep, that just, it's full clearable now, and you know there's a sword in there. You'll probably get something else too. So. Also,
this is a crazy climb from Loger. I've not seen this before.
Yeah, this looks like a variation on something that Clarion's video on Angular. Shout out to Clarion.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not quite the same, I don't think, but it's the same principle where you just pull the block out from behind and it gets out of bounds. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's a very cool trick.
Cag letting them do the dirty work for him.
Yeah, especially if you're low on bombs or something. It's also really funny that those cannons can just blow up the entrance for seemingly no reason.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Cag will be doing PG first.
Also makes sense. This is pretty standard, I think, for most of the runners. Although I know there are some runners that do it afterwards.
That would be me, yeah. But that might be old dog.
Well, I like doing it later because I like to do the thing where you get storage at the start of Phantom Ganon and then talk to Cole so you get storage at the end of it. I think Spytron did that earlier and I just kept it. But you can also, it's just easier. There's a storage spot that you can get right as you leave chest behind the goblin.
Yep.
And that's just, it's there's no mini blends. It's more convenient. It's and all that stuff. So
See, I still do bomb drop while there are mini blends swarming, because if you get it first try, I think that it is technically the fastest.
I think you're right, but it's also this
It's
just
very annoying.
specifically is a little wonky, and you have mini blends to deal with.
Yeah.
So
And knowing both of those things in the back of your mind makes it kind of like, oh god.
yeah, exactly. So, all right, nothing of Phantom Ganon. So our hopes for something on Phantom Ganon was dashed quite fast.
Yep. So in other words, they were not punished for leaving it behind, and that would have been more time lost that I would have had.
Yeah, same.
Thank you, baseball.
Yep, but we are gonna likely get something here. I lied. Nothing on chest on bed.
Well, we will, at the very, very least, be getting a sword.
True.
But it is important to note, taking a look at Loger's tracker, FF is Sphere 5. So odds are, if this has something, it will not have a ton.
Yeah, so there's our sword. So ideally we'd be looking for grapple or magic here. Those would be the things that open up the most. Magic, I think, opens up a little bit more because you can do all the Forbidden Woods.
Mm-hmm.
But both of them would still be really good, and we're hoping for that. But nothing on Vukalin either.
Yep. Myself, personally, if I were in these runners' positions after FF, I would probably go to Outset, clear whatever I had there, and then go to Dragon Roost Cavern.
Right. Outset is actually into dead, so...
Oh, yes, that's right. So
yeah, I remember when I was talking about Big Pig. Yeah, it can't be that. So
yeah, I won't lie, I forgot. But
yeah, me too.
But there are some smaller overworld things that these runners can do. Let me double check my Baron hints before I... Okay, no, Horseshoe is dead, so forget that. Okay, nope, Southern's dead. Okay, forget what I was saying. Just go to DRC.
Just DRC probably makes the most sense here. Well, yeah, even without grapple, it still makes sense to go to Dragon Roost or Dragon Roost Cavern.
Well, the nice thing is your other dungeons are warp pot connected, so whenever you do inevitably find your grapple and it's time for go mode, you can just hop right back over, clear go mode, and then go back.
Yeah, and we do know... I did see CAG open pot. I don't know if Loger did, but I would assume that they did.
And even if they didn't, there's still Forbidden Woods.
Yeah, true. And both runners getting up pretty easily on this Forsaken Fortress.
Absolutely.
In the Helmrock fight.
Does mean that we've got dual bird. This would be crazy to watch if this was non-storage, because Lord knows who would come out ahead. But thankfully, since not only will our runners be cheating this bird, but Lago Lunatic, the developer of the Rando, was nice enough to fix the soft lock, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't really have to worry about too much variance here.
Well, we say fixed, and most of the time that is true, but there have been very fringe cases where sometimes some runners just get really unlucky and he doesn't fall down for whatever reason.
This is true.
We don't know why. So, but he did fix most of them. So,
yeah. I've had a couple times where he'll get stuck in the wall for a second, my heart will drop like it always did, and then I remember, oh yeah, I don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah.
It's also interesting to see both of the runners do the two different strats for getting down to the bottom. CAG did the setup, and Loger did the setup lists.
Yeah, I always prefer the setup lists. I feel like I get more consistent like where I drop for some reason, which is weird because the setup should be perfect, right? But
yeah, I was about to say that's interesting.
I kept messing it up, so I was just like, hey, I always land at the same spot at the same time, so it's just whatever. It's whatever works for you. You're still waiting for the cutscene, right? So
Yep. At the end of the day, it's just get it done to get it done.
Yep. And this is one of those things that doesn't get faster if you do it faster, right? Because you're still waiting for Helm Rock cutscene
Yep.
to end. So.
Mm-hmm. But I am also, and always will be, a big proponent of the strat that works for you is the fastest.
That is very true. Yeah.
Because yes, in theoretical worlds, one will be faster than another, which is, part of the reason why I'll do the bombs with mini blend, or the bomb drop with mini blend still. But I'm also very used to that, and that's what I know. If there's something else that you know better, you will probably go faster with that strat than if you were to try to do a strat that you are not familiar with. So
100% agree on that. Alright, so both runners finishing up for Forsaken Fortress. We are going to see our mail checks from Kag. We do have two of them, Errol and Tingle, are both in logic here.
Yep. Notably, he is back on Windfall, still without a Zunari flower, so...
Oh, that's true. That is true.
So I'm thinking at this point, that ship is probably just sailed.
Yeah, probably going to last location, which, again, understandable. 2 pieces of heart. That's funny.
Yep. Yep. Getting a lot of love from Forsaken Fortress, but we don't love it back because it's not giving us what we want.
No, we do not.
Looks like Kag's going to go back to Pop Print to check the boulder that he did not get to see earlier.
Yeah.
So that'll sink a little bit of extra time. It was dead.
Yeah, exactly. It was dead, right? So... Of course, Loger still has to get Minenko here, but that doesn't take nearly as much time as sailing does.
But he also does need his... well, he's going to be getting his sword hint, and then he'll be getting his sword. So that's another thing that Kag does have. So really, at this point, things are pretty close.
Yeah, very close. And I think it's just whoever enters DRC first will probably take the lead. But again, it's going to be within 30 seconds, minute of each other. It's not going to be very big.
I agree. It is very cool to see both of these runners performing at a very similar level. Close races are always the most fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Loger is heading into the high road.
Oh, I think Kag's gonna go to Bomb Island here.
Oh yeah, there we go. So we were talking about how Kag didn't have to do this and would have saved time, but since he is sailing, this is going to be time saved for Loger, whether he remembers it or not.
And Loger actually would have a cool advantage of having this be his last sword, except he doesn't have Boomerang, so that...
True, if you were able to go unlock the warp portal, then that would be saving time. But we don't have Boomerang. You don't want to do this with just bow. Theoretically, you can. It's so hard.
Yeah, not fun. I'm sure if you practice it, yes, hello, kitty. I'm sure if you practiced it, you could probably find a way to get it semi-consistent. But, like, why? And there are many other things you could practice instead. And
exactly.
The time that you save is not that much.
Yeah. Because you still have to roll all the way down. It's just, do you roll now or do you roll later? So
that's exactly it.
The time save is really just going back to Tachi and entering the portal.
In fact, in all honesty, with how long lining up and throwing the boomerang, and then the cutscene of Coral coming in, I wonder if it actually really even saves that much time.
That's fair, actually. I feel like... I'm surprised no one has timed it yet. I feel like someone should do that. I might do that, actually. Now that we're talking about it. I'm curious.
Yeah, because honestly... And Kag's going to go get his flower for Zunari. So this is going to give...
Kag.
So Kag has given Lager his time back.
Yeah.
But Yeah, because I guess I never really thought about it, but some of those things are pretty time consuming.
That text
Yeah.
box always scares me. That Cag did, where you don't talk to the Goron, but you still open your town flower. You can hit the
Yep.
throw it away, which is the bottom option because you think it'd be to keep it, but it's not. It always
Yeah.
scares me.
Every single time I accidentally pull it, I always wait for the text.
Yeah, I just make sure I read it and says keep it.
Mm-hmm. It may lose me another extra second, but I'd rather it not lose me the game.
Exactly. And it looks like we are headed to Dragon Roost. Well, Headstone, which leads to Dragon Roost.
Yep.
Stone.
So yep, Logar will get there first. Both runners have the same amount of items, and they'll have the same amount of overworld done. So at this point, even with some of the flops that we had, well, flops, that's a harsh way to put it. Some of the little misplays that we had in Top G didn't matter at the end of the day. The superior routing in the overworld got it to Logar's side.
Yeah, and you can see Cag not too happy about that silver rupee. Could have just left it, but unfortunately did not, and now is headed to Dragon Roost, just behind Logar.
Yep.
But again,
With
like
all
I
those
said,
little
this is about a minute behind, probably, if anything. This is easily made up in Dragon Roost.
100%. And yes, for anyone with a cat, it is not your cat going crazy. It is mine. She has decided she wants attention, and she will not get off of me until I give her that attention.
She can come into the commentator booth with us. I don't mind.
True. All right, Shadow, what are your thoughts? Okay, she's not very talkative, but that's okay. She looked at me like, what are you saying? I don't understand. Keep petting me.
First check in Dragon Roost was a bottle. That would be really annoying if that was grapple or something along those lines.
Right.
Because Grandma's Mail is in logic, even though Outset is not.
Oh, wow. Is Logar aiming manually? Not doing the setup?
Like it. Yeah.
All right. He's gaming.
Sure is. Although, even though we're breaking down this platform, we don't have magic and we don't have grapple, so we can't really go backwards right now.
Yeah, we can do half backwards, but that is not fun.
Yeah.
And can take a fair amount of time as well.
Exactly. So I feel like I would just go forwards here. It's not that much slower than going backwards. At least it doesn't feel that much slower. I don't know if it's actually that much slower. So.
Oh, jumping off and then realizing, wait, that's a key. I want it.
Wait, I need that. Yeah, especially if you're going forwards, you are going to need that key.
Which I don't think he will, but...
Oh, Spiky here.
Give me the magic.
Oh,
nope.
Another useless item. Man, this seems
tough.
Not being nice to us right now.
Yeah. Don't worry, the grapple will be on Grandma Mail, and then that bottle won't be useless, and all of our runners will be sad.
Oh god, that's gonna be even worse.
Now, one of the things about shooting down this platform, also ouch, is without grapple or magic, you don't have a way to actually get under rope bridge. So it looks like Cag will probably just be going forward here because he did not shoot it down.
Right.
But he will not be able to get under rope bridge unless he comes back and shoots it down, or if magic or grapple is just in here, which is likely.
It is likely because we do need magic or grapple for anything else, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say, actually, I think it is guaranteed that at least one will be in here.
Well, it could be grapple. And like it could be grapple on like Grandma Mail, and then
Oh, you know what? Yeah,
Tower
there's
the
Grandma.
end of Tower of the Gods has something.
Mm-hmm. And Under Rope Bridge had nothing. And it looks like Logar will not be doing half backwards, so...
Oh, is that a spiky? Are we doing hook shot here? Oh, it's a
No,
key
it's a
chest,
key.
but still, we need that, so
Mm-hmm.
that needs to be a little bit forward.
Typically, yeah, whenever I set this up, I always ledge grab.
Yeah, it just guarantees you're all the way to the end, but gets it though. Very nice. That is another one of those obscure tricks that we've added into our logic.
Yeah, I really like that one.
That's very fun.
Mm-hmm. Also, remember what we said about any little thing could put a runner in the lead? Well, Under Rope Bridge didn't have anything, so CAG is now technically ahead by a hair.
But again, it's by a hair. They're a room apart. It's very close.
Yep, and if CAG decides to get Under Rope Bridge later, then there's a very good chance that it goes right back to Logar, so...
Exactly. Alright, so first floor Dragon Roost not being too nice to us. Not getting us anything useful. We'll see if Rat Room has anything. And we'll also see if we need to do the key skip, which it looks like we will need to.
Nope. Looks like the last one's
nope,
right
never
there.
mind. Yep, you're right. I got ahead of myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that, and if we had to do the key skip, then the seed really would be really bad. Because I guess all that would be
That's
left would be
true.
Grandma.
That would be true.
But it would confirm that Grandma had something. Nice
ghost
ship
ship chart. That's another check that could be Grappler Leaf or Grappler Magic. That's not in Dragon Roost.
Boy, oh boy.
Unless it was hinted. Was it hinted? No, it wasn't.
No, actually, both of our hints were in dungeons today.
There we go. Another spiky chest. Fire and ice.
Fire and ice. Okay.
So we're still looking for that magic and grapple.
Yep. And we can't even get the last bow hint because we don't have said magic.
Yep.
We do have to be zeroing in on it, though. There's not a
It has to
ton
be
left.
close. Yeah, it has to be close.
CAG deciding this bridge doesn't deserve to live.
Yeah, well, if you keep this stick, you can just jump right into the torch here and get this chest early. I don't know if it's faster because you have to walk with it, but it's cool, and it feels fast, so...
So why not just use the fire barrel he just got?
If only. If only.
I know. Oh, that rat was not nice to Logar.
No, that was an evil rat right there.
Climbing up a ledge. Let me get you.
Alright. There's our magic!
Hey.
There it is. Alright. So that will make CAG able to do Under Rope Bridge when he gets there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be very convenient. And
now that does mean it is a grapple go mode.
Yes, we are in grapple go mode here. And we also have an entire Forbidden Woods to do, which could have it. It could also be our Fire and Ice checks in the overworld. There's a couple places it could be. We also have a spiky chest here. It could just be here.
Could just be there. Or this could be our light arrows. We'll see. I actually don't remember if both opened the pot to Godin. I think we said we knew that CAG did.
I do know that CAG did. I'm unsure if Logar did. Boomerang.
Nice rang.
Logically required, but we don't need it.
Yeah. I don't hate having it, though. Right.
True.
And
it
CAG
makes
is
the
gonna
Cali demos fight a lot easier.
CAG's gonna go get Under Rope Bridge here, and actually Logar's gonna save a little bit of time because Logar is just gonna be able to take that boomerang straight into Goma. Because our mini boss was hinted dead.
Yeah, but we don't have grapple.
I knew that.
I don't think you can use the boomerang on Gold. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I mean, you can. Will it work? No, but you can.
it's true. You can. But
Yeah,
it does.
you'll be hearing pink, pink, pink over and over, but it'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Like
Cag's
Cag
jumping down. Oh, he's
is
opening the
done
warp.
here. Yeah, taking the pot. Could take the pot over to Top G. You can full clear it now. It looks like he's just gonna save and quit. Probably wants to get that fire and ice hit before doing anything else, which makes sense.
Yeah, I don't blame it. I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, it's again prioritizing that the information.
Oh, wait, no, he's thinking. I think he might be changing his mind here. I think he's going to Tachi.
It might be. Very reasonable.
Yeah. Cag just gave a shrug to the camera.
He's like, yeah, why not, right? Why not?
Yeah. After all, why shouldn't I? I don't hate this. Because honestly, all that Cag really has left is the mini boss and what you call it, the stuff up top.
Yeah, the big key room.
Yeah. The only thing he'll be losing time on here is doing the mini boss. Or he'll decide to leave it and get the other 3 things and then get his hint there, but...
Yeah, and it looks like Loger is also done with Dragon Roost. Let's see. He did save warp out, so he's not going to Top G right away. We'll see what he decides to do. There's a couple options. Again, the Windfall hint is open. Looks like that's where he's going to go.
Yep. To me, your 2 choices are Top G or Rush Hint.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big thing about the Top G play is you're forced to see 2 of the items out of the 4 that he had left. Because you have to get the big key chest and you have to see the heart container. And then the only out of the way check that he really has is this mini boss. Other than that, the pot is just like an extra 2 seconds.
Agreed. Alright, we'll get this hint up here. Unfortunately, there's no grapple hint, so we will be looking for that still.
Yep, where's it at? Your guess is as good as mine.
Yep, and unfortunately, we are out of path hints and stuff, so we have no idea where this could be. We have no hints as to where it could be, really.
Oh, that was it. You know what? I've never thought about this from Loger. I liked that a lot.
That's actually, yeah, I didn't think about that, but storing that cutscene, I guess it doesn't open the chest, but if you know that it's nothing, then
oh,
good. Was that a male hint?
That was male.
So grandma. I'm trying to think what else. What other male do we have left?
Hoskett.
Grandma. Oh, Hoskett's girlfriend. Ooh, we could be looking at spoils back.
We could be looking for spoils. It could be Orca male.
Oh, it could be Orca.
And I think those are... Oh, looking at Logger's tracker, he opened up all of the mail checks. Those are the only 3 we have left.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it looks like Loger's going to opt to do some Forbidden Woods here. Now, the nice thing is... Well, actually, no. Because if it is behind that spoils bag... then there's a chance that it could be on the upper side of Forbidden Woods, but grapple cannot be in the Morth Pit area or in the Small Key Locked area. So,
right. It can be in basement though.
It can be, yes.
Can you shoot?
Can it?
I don't think you can. I think it has. I think you have to shoot down the the thing from the other side.
Wow.
And I don't think you can do that without grapple logically.
Well, when and if Logar opens his tracker for us, we'll see.
True.
Yeah, it looks like it is not in logic. So
I wonder if Logar's just gonna go to the boss and then just dip.
I mean, honestly, it's not a terrible thing with this just sitting in top G.
Yeah. So far, Tachi not giving anything useful to Kag.
Yep, we only have one thing left, and Kaga's getting a fairy from here, so...
Yeah, also Spiky on Logar's side that we did store. We won't know what that is yet, but still...
We know it's not our lights.
In fact, I think the only thing it can be now is grapple. I guess Maggie's letter still in logic could be another bottle. I don't want to say anything too quickly.
Yeah, could also be spoils.
Could also be spoils, you're right.
Could be second wallet.
Okay, now we're just jinxing it at this point.
Could be a Tingle statue and we need to get a hold of Tanjo.
That'd be really funny. Could be Tingle Tuner. That'd be fun.
True. Actually, now that I think about it, it's kind of funny that he stored this.
Oh, that's true. You don't really need to.
Yeah, there was not a super point to do so, but
we start with all the big keys. No real reason to do that.
Logar is grabbing his fairy from here, so
it's very smart. Oh, why did Logar jump there?
I think his storage hitbox must have made that area a little weird. Also he paused.
Grapple.
It was? Okay. So there we go. Yep, he did check it off, so... Yeah, but he paused and then unpaused very quickly.
I think he was looking only in that spot, so he found it instantly and just unpaused.
Mm-hmm. So, this is go mode for Logar if we don't need spoils.
Yeah. So we're hoping that it's Orca Mail or Grandma Mail. And there's Maggie's letter.
Nice, Maggies. We don't need it. Go away. Well, maybe we don't. Spoils is on that.
You definitely take it just in case.
Yeah.
Okay, guess not. Never mind. What do I know?
You know what? It is such a small chance.
The likelihood of it happening is really low, so it's probably not going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Looks like
probably did open the pot. At least the DRC pot probably opened.
Yeah. It's interesting to me that he's opting to... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter either way if you choose to do your bosses now or later.
Yeah, because lights don't really speed up any of these bosses. They would speed up Jahala, but Jahala's not logic. And aside from that, I think they only slowed down Godon technically, but...
Mm-hmm. Beautiful remix by Kag.
I see that. It looks like we are also getting this Fire and Ice hint.
Yep. And Logar is... he does have 2 statues to get instead of just 1. So that does give him a little more time. But I would say, even with that Kag, or that Logar probably does have just that little bit extra more of an advantage right now.
Yeah, I think the fact that just knowing where grapple is and having grapple is very valuable here.
Yep. Yeah, my big thing is if Kag decides to stick in the overworld and not go straight into Forbidden Woods, that will probably be a ship sinker. Like if he decides to check...
yeah.
If he decides to check Needle Rock or Ice Ring.
Right. Which would be unfortunate.
Oh boy. Cag, please hit this.
Oh, Kag has 1 magic.
No.
No, no. Oh, it's unfortunate.
I
But
saw him signal to the camera 1, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" Then I looked at his magic.
yeah, that is unfortunate. But luckily, save quitting just refills your magic all the way. You don't have to go look for more magic.
Yeah. Other randos, take note. Refilling magic on save warp, beautiful quality of life.
Very nice. I'm
Wonder
sure you're
losing
not thinking
my
about
favorite.
one in particular, right?
Oh, I am.
No, you surely wouldn't be calling out an entire random because it's a one simple thing, right? Wouldn't you? You would never do that.
Just one?
You're right, my bad.
I mean, to be fair, there's surprisingly not that many Zelda games with magic anymore. So
True.
take that for what you will.
Replaced it with stamina, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Cag finished up here on Windfall. Now, I
Yep.
think Cag probably will rush this hint because it already does have a fairy.
Yep.
So it would make sense to just go.
Mm-hmm. It's still a 1 in 3 for him. He still has Orca and Hosket to worry about, but
Yeah. But this Orca hint does, or the male hint does make Orca more enticing.
Okay, this is a good choice from Cag. He doesn't know it, but he is
Yeah.
opting to, instead of go straight to Grandma, go straight to Forbidden Woods.
I think this
So,
makes sense because you know that Orca male is a likelihood of having your lights, right?
yep,
And
I
you're
was
gonna
thinking
have
the
to
same.
do it anyway. So it makes sense to just want to get it out of the way. If you need to come back here, you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is the right call. Because if you can
Yeah.
do the end game without soup, then you're fine.
Right.
Like, you don't have to go save Grandma.
Right. And Grandma is a pretty big time sink. It's like a 30-second cutscene,
Yeah.
which
And
I know we all love Grandma, but
you do save some of that time back in the Ganon fight, but it's pretty minuscule.
yeah.
We have seen some runners. Actually, I think in our first qualifier, we saw someone lose. Brain, what do you want to say? We saw someone enter Ganon first before another runner, but then lose because they didn't have soup. So
Yeah.
it is a
a
thing.
possibility. And it does make the Ganon fight significantly more difficult also. I have died
Yes.
quite a few times just because I don't have soup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Not a lot in this game can kill you. Ganon is one of them, though.
Ganon is one of them. Mulgara also, if you get too close, does 2 hearts of damage.
Yeah, I think Mulgara has probably been the cause of the most freak accident deaths in this game. But the number one killer that thankfully we only see once is the jump slash from a Mighty Dark Nut.
That's true. That will insta kill you. Along with, coincidentally, Big Pig.
Oh no, Cag!
Oh, is Cag doing the rest of Forbidden Woods?
You've stored your grapple, man.
It's okay if he does.
Well, maybe he's just
area.
He might just be opening the warp pot, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does small key area first, he'll know that he has grapple, and he can probably deduce that he knows where lights are, so he's just in go.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a time loss if he does end up doing small key area.
Mm-hmm. We shall see. But this is time.
Right, it is time, and we do like to save time here.
Now, if he finds... Oh, he's going to void out here. This is actually a risk.
Oh, he's not checking.
Here's the thing, though.
Wait, he didn't see it? He checked it but didn't see it?
I saw him nod, though. He might be clearing anyways, hoping for Hosket. Like, hoping for the spoils bag.
Oh, hoping for spoils.
But to me, that can't be right.
Well, he hasn't checked it off his personal tracker yet.
This is true.
So...
But surely at this stage of the game, that's what you're looking for, right?
Maybe he forgot it was spiky or something. I don't know. It's...
But then why'd he pause in the first place? I don't know. We'll definitely... That'll be a question in the interview at the end of all this.
Gets his storage, though. After a little bit. Hopefully he recognizes... Okay, he did see that he had grapple. So he is just doing this for spoils bag, it looks like.
Yep. And yeah, Sean, that is exactly what it would have to be. It is possible that spoils is here and Hosket is lights. But it's only a 1 in 3 chance that this that Hosket letter has it, and a smaller chance that the spoils is here.
Yeah, and I think Cag just realized it. We saw on the face cam. He did a little thinking motion with his head, and he's immediately leaving, not even bothering to check. So I think he realizes that he isn't go mode aside from lights, which is on mail. So.
Mm-hmm. But with that little bit of extra time, Logar is now done with Tachi. So that officially means that Cag has more to do for endgame than Logar does. Cag still has Kalidamos to do, and Logar already has a start on getting some mail checked. So,
yep. And we'll see if the seed is nice to us and just gives it to us on Orca, or if we have to go to Grandma, which is a little bit slower, or if we have to slog through the rest of the seed to try and find spoils.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the spoils option is the most chaotic option.
Yeah. Another ball on Orca. Okay.
Stone, you idiot. Go get soup. That's where your lights are. On delay. So we got a 50-50 here. And you know what? If it's a 50-50, then Cag has a small advantage if it ends up being the Hosket, because he did clear the top of Forbidden Woods.
Well, he also didn't check mini-boss, so for all we know, that could be the spoils bag.
No, I think he did check it. Like, I saw him turn his camera towards it.
Oh, did he? I thought he just immediately left.
No, he turned his camera, I'm pretty sure, but...
Okay, well then if that's the case, then yeah, he does have more checked.
Mm-hmm. And also, there is this Maggie's letter. That
is true. Now, Logar didn't pick this one up.
Yep.
Logar didn't.
So,
we'll see if Cag picks it up. I think it's safer to always pick this up here.
Yep, I think so too. If there's a chance that you are not in go mode, then you pick up every item.
Yeah, it looks like Cag understands that too. We are picking that up.
Cag did a little bit of forehead slap. But here's the thing. He doesn't know this, but we know that it's a 50-50. So there's a 50% chance that, yes, he did lose a little bit of time, but also a 50% chance that we have a little more to worry about here.
Yeah, it looks like Cag is going to delay this a little bit. Does want to go beat Goma first before doing anything else, which, again, it's not going to get faster with your light arrows, so it makes sense to do this now.
Mm-hmm. If anything, it would get slower.
Yeah.
If you use the light arrows.
Logar, gonna confirm our suspicions or not? Is this the light arrows here on Grandma Mail?
Or are we about to see the craziest endgame of all time? Okay, there we go.
It is light arrows. So that, yeah, there is no spoils bag in the seed. Logar just has to defeat Goma, and we'll be okay. Cag
Now,
also.
an interesting thing here is Logar is having to sail all the way there,
That
whereas
is
Cag is
true.
able to just take a warp pot. So that is some more time back for Cag. So Cag will be done with Goma before Logar, but then he has Grandma to go do. So this is actually going to be pretty close.
Yeah, this is still anybody's race. We are probably,
Yeah.
again, a minute apart of each other, which
Yeah,
I feel like these runners have been this entire race.
honestly, yeah. I'm feeling a come down to PG race for sure.
100%. That's the only, yeah, it just makes the most sense here. Right. Cag is in cutscene mode here with Goma.
Aha, and there's our first place finish.
Oh,
GG
Laz taking first place.
Yep,
143.59.
143.59.
Yeah, very fast race.
Mm-hmm. Laz is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
Absolutely. Came in around Mini Blend Season 2 and just has been getting so much better so very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's a second
definitely a
place.
top runner.
GG to KitKat with a 144.25,
Right
finishing
behind.
within 30 seconds. So
Yeah.
probably
I mean,
a race very close to what we've had here.
Yeah, I know KitKat didn't have the qualifiers that he probably would have wanted in his first two. He got pretty, not bad, but average scores. And so coming in with this second place really helps his scoring in the overall bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, Cag held up a sign to his camera. I think it said "Please be Grandma," but I'm not sure. Maybe it said "Please be spoiled."
I think it said on Hoskett or something. Which
yeah,
that would be
it would be ideal for Cag,
ideal
honestly,
for Cag, yeah.
but it is not, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is a Goma done. So we are about one Goma phase apart, which again, very close. Cag still does have to do Grandma though.
Nice Tingle statue. It's funny.
Very funny.
Yeah. What I will say is that this could have come down to Cag deciding to do the small key locked area, in all honesty.
That is true.
We got Cube David, third place, 146.11.
Another runner that came in around Mini Blend Season 2 and just won Challenge Cup and kept going from there. Top runner in his own right.
Yep, the Challenge Cup to top 3 runner pipeline is real.
It's so real.
All right.
So Logar heading into Hyrule.
Yep, and Cag is checking this mail first, which makes sense.
It is slower if you have to end up checking both of them, which Cag will do. But if it is on Orca, then it's faster to just check Orca without having to go to
Yep.
Goma.
His fingers are crossed.
Man, if only it was a spoiled bag C, that would have been
This
fun.
would be crazy.
It would be. The fact that we got grapple and magic so late is astonishing to me.
Honestly, I'm just glad that I'm glad there was an item in every dungeon.
That's true.
Does not always happen with these settings.
Right.
Right. But we had about a 147.46 entry for Lager, I want to say. I wasn't looking too
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And prepare for the Grandmaception. Grandma has saved Grandma and has now given Grandma the grandma soup. Yes, I ran that like 5 times in my head before saying it.
Hey, fair enough. It's a tongue twister, it is.
Yeah. Courtesy of Grandma.
How much soup could a grandma chuck if a grandma could chuck soup?
Just get rid of Chuck and replace it with Chug.
How much soup could a grandma chuck if a grandma could chuck soup?
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Kag brought up the sign for a half of a second, and it said, "Please be Hosket." So, I've got bad news for you, buddy. Here you are. Wait, no, he's cheering. Maybe it.
I think he's. I think he does. I think he didn't want to do the rest of the scene. Yeah.
You know what? Maybe it was, "Please don't be Hosket." Maybe I'm just reading wrong.
Yeah, maybe it said "Don't be Hosket." But still, that's a. It looks like a relief to see him. He is in go mode now.
I would like to note that I was trying to read the text backwards, so that made it tough.
That's true. Yeah, they did mirror. All right, so it looks like it'll be around 3 minutes time difference, or is it 2 minutes? I forget.
2 minutes. It was, yeah. Logar was 1:47:46.
47. Gotcha. So yeah, about 2 minutes. Again, still anyone's race.
Yeah. A tough PG could determine it for anyone. But Logar does have a little lead.
Yep.
All right. Getting the spawn on PG right behind you. If he spawns in the circle, he's always going to be the one behind you. It's a very good thing to know.
And thinking about it, that 2 minutes of difference is probably just how much time Kag spent in Forbidden Woods.
Yeah, I think so. Especially since that bomb storage actually took him a few tries. Might have actually been a little more. Yeah, I think without it, they'd probably both be grand staircasing at the same time. And we would be freaking out.
Yeah, that definitely would be a freak out worthy moment here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, Kag, letting us watch the Darknut dab to its death.
We love that.
That is fun.
The amount of things that dab in this game is actually, well, I guess the term would be, if I had a nickel for every time that something dabbed in this game, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happens twice.
Also, very quick 2 shots here for the first.
Yeah, Logar means business. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
If there was any doubt that Logar was ahead by a substantial amount, Logar just shut us up. So
yeah, that was impressive.
Very clean.
Yeah, I'm like, that is a pop-off worthy PG1.
Yeah, 100%. We'll see how he does on this other 2 phases.
All right, lining up the triple.
Gets the second shot. Yeah,
double
but the light
is
arrow,
better than nothing.
Yeah, the light arrow ended up hitting the wall and not pop again, and so didn't get the fast reload.
Mm-hmm. He's leaving the magic. It triggers me. All right, second down. Will he get the quick shot on the worm? Doesn't look like it, but he didn't just let it fly. He's trying to strategically line up some shots, but unfortunately, not one to work right now. PG is just not playing along, it seems.
Yeah, not having a great time with this third PG. Meanwhile, Kag in the fight, trying his best to tighten the distance.
Kag as a musician has played the PG string twice, but unfortunately that is not hitting the org.
Going for Trog here on Loger's side. Not quite getting it.
Instead getting tackled.
Yeah. And the bad thing about using bait strats while so close is that very close. Is that Puppet Cannon just keeps circling around you and there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, it is a whirlwind of worm. Good PG won by Kag, but also we've got two finishes. GG's to Your Average Link and Rick Schmitty, 8 seconds apart. Wow. That is wild.
Very, very tight race from those two, and a very tight race from these two on Restream. Loger is done with the fight. Kag entering the second phase with the spider.
Mm-hmm. He's got time to make up, but Loger still has a good lead. So,
yeah, definitely. First shot. Not quite getting the second shot.
Yep.
Any magic drops? One magic.
We got one. Better than nothing.
Better than nothing. That's exactly right.
All right, but gets the double.
It on the second try. Very nice.
Ooh. Loger was getting a little fancy.
Oh, we're doing the other strat.
Yeah, I do not do this strat very often.
Yeah, this is the recent one that just got discovered. A new way to do this. I find it harder to do, so I don't do it. But it is, for some people, it is easier. So I do get.
Yep. But it is taking a second, so could give Kag a small bit of time to make up here.
That is true.
The Kag is needing to drink some soup here. PG3, not wanting to... Okay, there we go. Yeah, I have never seen that setup before, actually. I won't lie.
I think it was discovered by Mr. Alberto in the Wind Waker HD randomizer.
Sounds like Alberto. Well,
Right,
Kag got 2 phases down, but Loger has entered the final fight. Will we see Davendorf? No. Oh wait, yep, we got a.
Yeah, we got a Davendorf.
As I said, 2 nickels.
Also, who knew Grandma was this agile?
Yeah, seriously.
Climbing up ropes with no legs, like, come on.
All right, Zelda's coming up, and we are in the last little bit for Loger.
Yep, just needs one more ricochet, and we'll have to.
Oh, okay.
We're not quite out of the woods yet.
Yep. It's not over till the fat Ganon stabs or gets stabbed.
But that looks like it. GG's to Loger.
GG.
Very good run.
All right.
Alright, and we're looking at Kag here to finish up. Entering the Ganon fight as well.
Yep.
Oh, getting hit here. Yeah, right as the phase shifted.
The hit.
Unfortunate. But has enough soup to refill.
But unfortunately, he does get he got the knockback into that, which gives him less time to focus on soup. But that was
What just happened?
he parried into the bonk zone, which is unfortunate.
Yeah,
it's a shame because I was going to praise him because I was like, dude, that was a crazy parry. he had to do that so fast, and then the game was like, yeah, you want impressive? No, nah, not for you.
Yeah, and here is the final phase. Just needs to ricochet again. Gets it.
Boom.
And there it is. Tag finishing with a 158.32. Another very nice run.
Yes, GG's.
GG's to both these runners. We'll see if we can get any of them in for an interview if they'd like. But yeah, that was a fun seed. And welcome into our runners, Loger and Kag. GG's.
GG's.
So I wanted to ask if you guys had any initial thoughts on the seed that you'd like to discuss before we head into our own questions.
Door cancel be busted. And I'm guessing what was it? I know Kit and who else finished first, or like around there.
Laz was first.
Okay, I'm guessing they probably did that. Maybe.
I'm not sure if door cancel would have been as good this seed. I mean, you do get to do Dragon Roost, which means.
Manenko had power bracelets, and second Picto was deep inside Tower of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
So I see what you're saying.
It would have allowed you to just single dip probably Tower of the Gods, because you also get magic from that. That's what I went to Tower of the Gods and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna pray I get magic here.
Yeah,
and I did some weird routing because like that was the first time I've ever had to do like any routing of that nature. It didn't.
Yeah,
work out.
I mean, I did enjoy the Dark Knight mini boss without any items. That was pretty fun.
I've never done that.
That's pretty cool.
I
mean, you did that. That was pretty cool.
I think I saw someone.
Never done that before.
No, I heard someone do it and I was like, you know what, let me try this. And I think I watched like a video once. Like
that's wild. Well done.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That was also my first time getting to route the Bomb Island skip. That was fun.
Yeah, you got to show off a lot.
I got to do nothing cool. I just got to use like 86 warp pots.
Yeah, I appreciate the piece of paper you held up that it said, "Please no Hosket," I think is what it said. Is that what it said?
Yeah. Praying that I did not have to find spoils bags somewhere.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking about at the end of the seed. It's like both of you were fighting your last few bosses, and we're like, all right, it's the 1 in 3 chance that you have to go find spoils bags somewhere.
Oh, that would
for the mail.
Be miserable.
Yeah, the mail.
I wish like one thing I've been trying to practice, and it's hard. I don't think I've gotten it yet, but like when I went to Hyrule, I could have activated a Dark Warp Pot, with like the buffer strat with the bow.
Oh, the bow. Yeah, we were talking about that. I don't even know if it's even worth it to do that. It's so hard.
Maybe not. Yeah.
But
it's something I was just gonna put into my practice rotation. It's just like, oh, I don't even have boomerang.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair. It's fair to do if you're down there already, right? So
yeah.
Makes sense.
Kag, what was your sorry, go there.
I was just gonna say you guys largely for the roast of the seed were within minutes of each other. You guys were like a minute between each other entering Taji for the first time. You guys both beat Helmrock at the same time. You guys were guys were in Forbidden Woods at the same time, I think, or like finishing up your last bosses at the same time. You guys were a minute apart for the entire seed, pretty much. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, Kag, what was your like last major item other than like maybe like swords or bows?
It was grapple, very last.
Okay.
And then I just like continued to do Forbidden Woods, even though I had go mode for some reason. That was a little weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was probably. Were you probably thinking that you needed like spoils bag or something, or were you just not thinking that you were in go yet?
I wasn't thinking at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, because it was just I think there was a couple overall checks. Like we had all of Needle Rock, all of Private Oasis, and all of
Ice
Ring. Yeah.
Yep.
So like when I got to that, I was like a little bit sweating because at least the common sentiment, at least sometimes with these seeds, is kind of like a casino.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that I do like that both of you guys chose to dip Forbidden Woods early and just go straight to the boss, because you
I
guys
mean,
knew that you needed to do it eventually, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's my partial thought process. But then also, like, I think it was I don't want to say it was the lowest sphere, but it felt like like that whole dungeon, like to go check it, was locked behind grapple. So I was like, okay, well, it might be within the first couple chests I can check.
right, and you were running out of overworld checks too, right? So
Yeah, like I think
makes
in
sense.
retrospect, I probably wouldn't have stored that hole in the tree because I was just kind of
Yes.
just like on autopilot for a second. Then I saw it was spiking. I was like, wait a second, this could be grapple,
Yeah.
and it just decided to keep going.
Yeah. I did want to ask. So, Cag, at the start of the siege, you went to Angular, first
Mhm.
thing, and you
Ooh.
got your sword, and you weren't able to check Angular cave.
Yep.
Did you assume that Master Sword was your path hint, or
I
did
was
you
a
just
little
assume?
scared that it would be the path hint, but as soon as I found the bombs, I knew it couldn't have been.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I just had a practice seed today with Shard path to Forsaken Fortress with bombs on Helmarock, so
Yeah, we spent the first 30 minutes in the commentator's booth just speculating if Master Sword was path, what that would mean for the rest of the siege, right?
I
But
would have loved that.
as soon as you got bombs, it didn't really matter. So
Could be like Puppet Ganon has
yeah, we were
Skullhammer
thinking
potentially.
Puppet Ganon, Vanilla Skullhammer or something. We were both being like, I would check Puppet Ganon or Phantom Ganon before going into Dragon Roost entrance, just in case it's something. But it ended up not being anything, so we would have lost time there. So
Yep. This, I think half of the beginning of the seed was me just talking about, well, I would have done this, followed by, well, I would have lost time from that.
Yeah,
yeah,
So,
it was kind of wacky. I mean, like the beginning getting Picto and then
yeah.
going
Also,
through all of these checks, and then it's like, oh, dead, 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 dead,
getting
dead.
baited by Picto is crazy.
I
Yeah.
mean, actually, yeah, that's funny because kids had stuff, right? Kids had Deku Leaf.
Kids had Deku Leaf, and I think Marie had a shard, but the fact
Okay,
that
so
nothing was on the Picto checks itself was funny because
Yeah.
you got the path hint towards the Picto, right? And it just didn't have anything, so
yeah, I
a
was
little
scared of
disappointed
that.
there.
I
I
just
did
wrote down Minenko on my notes in all caps.
Yeah.
speaking of notes, like I don't know if you do this, Cag, but like one thing I've started to try and do is memorize like each of the shard names, like the
Mhm.
numbers.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
while
I
going
do
through
have
stuff.
them
That's
memorized.
been really helpful.
And then I have a little like piece of paper with all of the
Same.
all of the
Yeah. I
dungeons
remember
written
you
out so I
sending
can
that.
do
That's
path hints.
yeah.
Yeah, I kind
That's
of memorize
good.
it as it's kind of like a backwards 6 in order. The last charts because it goes
Yep.
right 4, middle 5, lower left 6, bottom 7, top 8. You start with the first 3. It's kind of memorize it in
Yeah.
that order.
Okay.
It's been helpful to especially when you get shards already. Being able to know which ones you get is really crucial.
Yeah.
Because then you go to one of the ho-hos and he like hints something else. I think I had a practice seed, or it was actually maybe it was just a seed versus someone else where it was like Private Oasis was hinted. I knew that, and then I got a different shard. And it took me a second to realize, oh wait, there's actually an extra shard that's in Cabana.
hmm
So that's kind of been like the strat with information that seems to be really helpful because there's a lot of stuff to talk about in terms of just like hints and how to use that to your advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that information is pretty key in in this in the season.
Yeah, makes Creeb I guess a bit better. Makes the Creebers a little more satiated.
Feeding their creep goes. That
Yeah,
one was terrible.
I think I think I have had a practice though where Creeb had light arrows, so that was funny.
Yes, I'm waiting for the
It's
day
like,
that I have
I
that.
love you, but also curse you.
Would you like me to tell you where they're at? No, I'm leaving.
Yeah, seriously. I don't want to talk to you any longer.
Yeah, you have outlived your usefulness. Go away.
Mhm.
Oh, actually, I want to talk about. I've been playing this game for a long time, but Logar, you actually opened my eyes to a strat, which is if you peek Transparent Chest as dead and you're going to go get the creep hints, door, the light.
Yeah,
the
that's a
lighthouse
fun
cutscene.
one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either. That's a very fun one.
I think it was during Mini Blends, one of the tournaments I was watching. Just saw someone do that again. Like a lot of the stuff I'm learning is just like from watching other people do it. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Let me try that.
Oh, that's absolutely how you do it. You get a lot of cool information the more you watch. And
Yeah.
the cool thing about things like mini blends leading to this is, and then also with the new meta games that come out of everything, is there will always be something new to learn.
There's a couple returning players, but this is I think Mini Blitz was my first tournament, and I think that definitely helped prime me up for this one. There's still like a lot of stuff that I'm having to learn to get better at because it feels a lot more adaption based than anything else. Especially with all the spots where it's like, oh, this is barren, this is barren. Oh, like you've got these checks you can do, but then there's also, oh, you can maybe do door cancel to get to DRC. I was thinking, would it be possible? No, it couldn't. Was it possible for this to be a Dekuless seed?
No,
right?
Forbidden Woods was a
Okay, yeah, okay. That I was thinking that for a second, and it's like I forgot. Yeah, I had Forbidden Woods in Taji.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless
that,
you
like,
could
peaked.
find a way to revive after a zombie hover without Tingle Tuner.
That's another thing, like hyper specific strats. Like I think there's been 2 seeds so far, or at least there's one I've seen at least from the qualifiers, and one that I've done where Morth hover is a valid strat. That's a fun time. That's a very fun time. Those pesky morphs.
Oh yeah.
I saw Gymnast doing that. I was like, dang, that's fun. I was warming up that a little bit, even though it was just like I didn't think it was gonna happen. I was just like, let me just make sure I can do this correctly.
All right.
I guess
Well,
that's about it.
no, you're gonna say something. Go ahead.
No, just like I guess smaller things like the submarines. Those were a cool addition. Actually, I really like those.
Oh yeah.
Especially
added a lot of
the
cool
Northern
stuff.
Fairy Island. I think it was Zuaf. No, it was Koala that peeked us onto, or peeked at least myself onto that. There's like this little skip you can do.
With the jump slash.
Yeah, with the ropes. You skip the last rope and you skip one of the swings. So that's actually kind of fun to just like grind out.
Yeah.
I was able to get the seed, so I
submarines are a great inclusion whenever you start with a sword.
Yes. May preset D rest in peace. Where it should be.
Yeah. All right. I think if we are done, if anyone else has any questions, go ahead. But I think we're going to wrap this up. Give this to baseball. Which, by the way, thank you for going on that goose chase with the Triforce Shard hint that we misread.
Oh my god. It was just funny because immediately they found it after I got like screenshots of the hints.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's cool. I'm here.
We'll just wait a little bit longer to get the shard. No worries. Just pause for 5 minutes so the casters feel useful.
Honestly, yeah.
Very true.
Please, just hold it on the hints for just like 10 extra seconds.
Just circle with big red arrow. This is
We are officially we're going to keep quick text except for Ho-Ho and Coral, to which every text box takes 10 seconds.
Yes.
Oh god. That sounds horrendous.
Okay, I'm really tired. I don't know when I became an old person. 11 is too late for me. So I gotta wrap it up. I gotta go to bed. Thanks, y'all. This was fun. Loger, Kag, thanks for being on Restream. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lyric, Tuba Man, thank you for commentating.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Great. And of course, Tweety, Blue Sean, couldn't do this without our trackers. Thank you, you're wonderful. The last qual is Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. That's
tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. For some people, Like Cube David, who should be asleep. It's
That's
today.
true. It's today, actually. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, a little over 12 hours till the last qual. So get ready. I don't think there's a whole volunteer crew signed up. So if you want to volunteer, you should sign up. Do it. Yeah, some amount of hours. Cube David's got it. I think he's restreaming. Okay, that's it from me. We're rating to Z1 Randomizer. They are having a qualifier for their Z1 Randomizer rookie tournament, which is exciting. So, hope you enjoy that. We will. Oh, it's Golden. Oh, I'm wrong. I saw you signed up for comms. I assumed it was you. Golden, the goat, will be restreaming. Okay. See y'all tomorrow for more Wind Waker. Bye.
GG.